Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers for the Nintendo Switch. You know, it's really interesting. In 2017, we're getting a new Street Fighter 2 rendition for a modern day console. In a day and age where the PlayStation 4 is getting Street Fighter 5, Nintendo fans are getting Street Fighter 2. Now, is this necessarily a bad thing? I don't think so. You know, amongst many gamers, amongst the many tournament players, Street Fighter 2 is the best Street Fighter game. Now, Street Fighter 2 also had like 400 million different additions to it, whether it be the Hyper Fighting Turbo Edition, whether it be the Special Championship Edition. So, seeing the final challengers coming out of a modern day console pretty much just takes the game that everyone knew and loved when it first came out, and brings it to a modern day audience, but just announces this is the final edition, if anyone had any question to it in the first place, of Street Fighter 2 before, I guess, Capcom puts Street Fighter 2 to rest finally. Now, is this game worth picking up? Well, for diehard fighting game fans, for diehard Street Fighter game fans, yes, the game is worth picking up. Now, what makes Ultra Street Fighter 2 different than all the other versions of Street Fighter 2? Well, aside from the addition to a Hadouken mode, which basically you play as Ryu in a first-person mode, using both the Joy-Cons as like his hands, being able to just go around and Hadouken people in a 3D environment, which is pretty cool. The one thing that sets this game apart from the other editions is they pretty much redid all the graphics. Granted, it's still a 2D graphic mode, but they basically HDified them. They made them prettier, they redrew them, they made them look more modern. However, one of the cool things is you can switch the mode off and go back to the classic Street Fighter 2 mode where everything looks like it did back in, 1991, 1992? Which, for you purists out there, that'll be the way you want to play the game. Now, on the Nintendo Switch, this game plays perfectly fine, I think, actually. It was a little interesting getting used to the Joy-Con's C-pad instead of having a directional pad on the controller. However, you know, if you guys have any aftermarket controllers, and I think the Pro Controller actually has a D-pad, that'll probably be the preferred way to play. Now, me just being a casual player of Street Fighter, you know, there wasn't really much for me to get used to, because I'm not a big fighting game fan. Not that I'm not a fan of them, I'm not a big player of fighting games, so I don't really have that purest sense of needing the D-pad to pull off the combos. To me, it's just button combinations, trying to figure out moves. Hopefully I win and hopefully I don't die. Now with Street Fighter 2, it's cool because, you know, each individual character has their own story that you can go to. You have your tournament mode where you basically just go around the world map beating opponents from different parts of the world to basically become the Street Fighter champion, I guess you can call it that. This game is only $40 for a physical release. It might have got a price drop from when I bought it back in July, but I've paid about $40 for this. And, you know, just to get basically two versions of Street Fighter 2 and an online mode with online leaderboards and that Hadouken mode, for $40, this is definitely a well-valued package. Now, for many people who think fighting games or Street Fighter 2 are outdated, you might not pick this game up. But if you guys are fans of, you know, fighting games, if you guys are fans of the classic franchise Street Fighter, and, you know, aren't too baffled as to why we didn't get Street Fighter 5, which I'm sure many people will agree that Street Fighter 2 is a lot better than Street Fighter 5 was because it's more of a complete package. You wouldn't be mad with paying the $40 for this game. Now, if people want a more modern 3D game, this game probably isn't for you. But for the people who love classic games, for people who love games for just the perfection that they are, I would definitely say pick up Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. Only for the sheer fact that there'll never be another challenger, because this is The Final Challengers. When it comes to Street Fighter 2, this is probably going to be the final release of the game that no one ever asked to come out in 2017. However, that's not a downside. Like I mentioned, the gameplay is fine. The game is Street Fighter 2 that you know and love. And the game will keep you entertained for hours on end with its arcade-style gameplay, the redrawn HD graphics, the Hadouken mode. It's just a whole lot of fun. You could use each side of the Joy-Con. There's two separate controllers, so you could bring the Switch on the go, play with your buddy in a car, on a plane, on a train, anywhere you want to play Street Fighter, you basically have the ability to do so. If you guys have Ultra Street Fighter 2, what do you think of the game? Leave that in the comments below. Would you recommend picking it up? What made you pick up the game? What do you like? What do you dislike? Leave it all below, guys. As always, thank you for watching this video. Go check out my other videos. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Thank you for taking your time out of the day to watch my video. And as always, until next time, guys, this game gets the thumb up seal of approval. Check out Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Until next time, have a great day.